Hi, Miss Exoma.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You the right one?
Yes.
HR management? Wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome. So I spent about 14 years in that area. And then I went, oh, you have a booklet? Then I went into training whilst I was there in sales and marketing and training. And I went to BTBI as coordinator of industry training. And that's when we built the Atlantis Hotel properties. So once again, opening properties, and that's where I found that Bahamians can't work at heights. And that's why they brought in a lot of the Mexican workers. So you see them bring in the foreign workers. Bahamian, there's certain reasons why they bring them in. And Bahamians, construction workers, kind of. So I had industry training. And then I decided to be an entrepreneur for a little while. And after that, I went into central banking. And that's where I retired from, central bank. And that's where I met, when we established what is now called the BIPS. And I've seen it grow from small, minute to what it has become today, so that we could take care of the development and educational needs of our people in the financial service community. After ending Central Bank, I thought I was still a little young. I went and did a contract at National Insurance and learned about, thank you very much.
I need to sign in.
Learn about national security, national insurance, sorry, and what it meant. And I spent about 4 years there. And that's my career. That's me as a person. I am a widow with 3 lovely daughters, 1 grandson. And I'm a member of Bahama State Ministry. So I had the privilege of working with the infamous and development, Miles Monroe and Dr. Richard Kinder before their passing. So I've learned a lot about leadership. My hobby, I love gardening. So I'm an avid gardener. I'm a member of City Garden Club. You may have heard of it. He works at Citibank, but no. So I'm an avid gardener. This young lady knows me a little bit personal, so she's seen my garden a little bit. But that's me in a nutshell. I mean, some of you normally don't share, people don't share, but I'm a believer because I've seen God do so many miracles in my life personally and the lives of others in the workplace. So I say all of that to say there's very little I have not seen. It's all been in human resource management and development. So I say that I'm privileged to be able to share my life with you, and I'm a practitioner. It's not just the textbook and coming to a class, okay? So I am believing God that I'm able to transfer a lot of that information and practical insight and real life situations to each of you, so that as you enter this field or learn about it, you can be the best. And my desire is that every one of you excel and exceed beyond what you are even thinking at this moment. You're going to have some surprise moments, I hope, as you share and work together. But I want you all to be very successful. And I want you to go back to your workplaces. And I shared you shared a little bit about me, the business, but you want to learn a little bit more about human resources. But you go back to your respective business places and you become the best. Good evening.
Good evening.
You made it?
I made it.
Wonderful. You become the best that you can become in this industry. I have a daughter who went in human resource management. I said, you went into one of the most unrewarding industries in the world. She said, Mom, what do you mean? I said, girl, very few turn back to say thanks. You fight with unions, you work with unions, and very few people, you get special benefits, you fight with executive, you work with them, you partner with them, very little comes back. But if you love the industry, you're going to be able to make a strategic impact as a career in this area. And eventually people will respect you and be grateful to you for what you would have done and the opportunities you would have provided for them to grow. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my very, very best. And I'm believing that God is going to give you the opportunity to learn from me, and also I learn from you in this session. So welcome to Introduction to Human Resources 2023. I can't believe it's 2023, and it's the end of January. Can you believe it? 1 month gone already. So that's me in a nutshell. And what we want to do, I have to get to know your names, know a little bit about you. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 persons. So it works out 5. Where you're going to introduce yourself or each other to me and to the members of the class. So what I want you to turn to the person on your left or right. You let it go behind. And what I want you to do, find out 5 things very quickly. You may have to move. Just 5 things about each other. And then I want you to introduce that person to the class. Let's try to make it as interesting as we can. Yes, you see, one of the things about HR, you got to be able to, you go into people you don't know. They don't know you. The 2, okay.
Would you say 5?
5 things about the person, each other. 5, not 3, 2, 1, 5.
Oh, yeah, 1 job.
1. And you're married?
You have 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes. So 2.5 each.
That's 5 lines around it. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's 5 or 4? That's 3.
Hold on. That's 5. 2, 3, 4.
My friend in Exuma, you probably, I'm not quite sure, but just if you're going to be able to share, we'd like to have you share and introduce yourself as well.
You were asking questions. Yeah. Is it announced basically also some questions? I'll be too personal.
Anything you remind the class on? Just share. Surprising.
No, I mean I have to ask questions.
Yeah, no, ask them usually.
Investment.
What do you like to eat?
What I like to eat? I like pasta. You gotta take and breathe. Oh my.
Come on. Do you have a degree? You have any kids? How much?
30.
Any dogs?
Any pets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 dog.
How much do I know? Okay.
What do you do at
I work as an account coordinator supervisor. Okay. The production name you said is Ken Jeanette.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. I think I did it wrong. Tell them what. No, this is
You like it?
Okay, what do you do?
I know, but I'm also working. I'm not sure. You working?
I should never before I can.
Oh, that's it. Maybe are you working?
Yeah. She left me a couple months ago, I think. 2 or 3 months.
Wow. How much people know about it?
13 people.
Two minutes.
You gotta stand up.
What, however you come to, you don't have to. You may have to fill up an item. Everyone finish? 1 more minute? Okay, wind up if you can. You have half a minute. Who wants to go first? First two. Who's we can?
I can. We can.
We can? Yeah. Okay. All right. If you feel comfortable standing, sitting, no pressure. You're adults, okay? And if you don't want to be formal, you can call me Miss Sip, okay? If you don't want to say Mrs. Bethel, I'm used to working in organizations, first name. I love our organization, Mrs. Bethel. So whatever you're comfortable with, okay?
No
All right, let's go.
Okay, so I'm sitting next to. Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we'll come to you. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so I'm sitting next to Kenja Nessa Edgecombe. She is 29 years of age. She has 1 dependent. She's married and she works for the company by the name of Alliance Investment.
Okay, so I'm sitting next to, she has 3 kids, 1 dog. She likes sea pastas. She works at JSX Investment as a home coordinator supervisor.
Great, thank you very much. Okay. So I would go. You want me to go next? Go ahead. Yes,
Okay.
yes, sure.
Okay, good evening all. So I'm sitting next to Gabrielle Evans. Abigail, Jesus, Abigail Evans, sorry. She works at Atlantis currently. She's a mother of 3. She just came out of banking, 15 years of banking and moved to Atlantis. I thought that was really interesting. And something else interesting about Abigail, she loves golf.
Go girl.
And I have to say this last one of those, the 6th one, she's a Christian.
Oh, wonderful advocate.
I am sitting next to the wonderful and enthusiastic Denise Allen Pinder. She's a mother of 1 and she's married. She has, everyone knows her by her good husband and her good baby. Yes. She loves school and she works at RBC Capital.
Okay.
For over 20 years.
Wow. Nelly is old as me.
Hi, everybody. To the back of me, I have Carolee Janine Jones. She's a Christian. Facts about her: she loves to travel, she loves reading, she loves planning events, and she loves meeting.
Oh.
Okay, in front of me is Makisha Tamia Humes. She's an office administrator at Active Trades. She's an active mom of 2 children who loves her family and family time. She loves to read, she loves solving problems. and she loves watching, and then she loves to travel.
Oh, interesting. Documentaries, eh? Great. We have a research paper coming out. Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. So the last with me, I have Miss Wendy. Wendy works to Lifestyle Luxury Vacation Club Bahamas. She says that it is a company. She said that she's been in administration all of her life, and she was recently blessed. I said this was a blessing. She started this new job at Lifestyle Luxury, and she is now functioning as the resource manager since October, which is that's a big deal to me. And she has 2 children, and one of her hobbies are reading. I'm sitting next to Vinique. Vinique works at Commonwealth Bank for the past 5 years as a data processing. She's in the back office. This is her first time doing. She said that her interest in human resource came from a personal experience. It piqued her interest, so she felt the need to actually come and see exactly what they do, so she could get a better understanding. She has 2 kids. Yeah, basically.
Okay, give all yourselves a hand. Wonderful. Excellent. Oh, we didn't get no man them in this class. But we may have one, I don't know, joining us. But thank you very much for your intros. And I will eventually, by the 3rd class, know every name and every face. I'm not promising you the 2nd, the 3rd, at least by the 3rd. Why are we here? What are we here for? And I have noted down a few things about HR, but I said we have to have a clear understanding of why we are here. What's the purpose for us being here? And one of the things that we will go over, which I've noted, I said, we're going to go from the root to the shoot. Where did HR come from? It was not always human resource management. So we want to know why. I have expectations which have been outlined and given to me by the Institute itself, but I also have some expectations from you. And one of the biggest expectations I have is your participation, and you've already began, that's started. So we're gonna have fun together. We're gonna have some good laughs. Sometimes I'm gonna say something which may probably offend someone, but always remember it's not my intention to offend anyone. You're gonna say something to me sometime and I may say, I ain't quite sure about that. I don't know what tone or attitude that come in it. And you're going to say the same things about, and that's what human resources is one of the things is all about. Understanding the intent, the heart of what was intended. And so I have noted here, what we want to do is to review our course outline. Do you all have the course outline? Or you remember what the course outline was?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I have to go through this very, very quickly so that we know why we are here. This is costing you or your company between $700 and nearly $800. So we're not here to waste time. I start the session as much as I can on time, and we're going to end as I explained. We're going to take a break. The bathroom, some of you may not know, is right out the door here to the left. If you have to go, you go. All right. I'm going to not, unless we all get a little tired and sleep and we need a stretch, we're not taking a prolonged break so that we can leave between 8:30 and 8:45. That would be our break and make up for the breaks that we are entitled to during this session. Why are we here? And I just want to read this as for the course description. It says the aim of this course is to provide students with a robust understanding of HR practices and issues. The course targets building awareness and appreciation of the link between HR practices and their role in achieving a competitive advantage. At the end of this course, it says students who successfully complete this should demonstrate an understanding of the following. One, the context and challenges of HRM, which is the acronym for Human Resource Management, and its role as a strategic function and set of practices within the organization. Two, how HR practices should be aligned with each other and with the internal and external environment of the firm or the organization. Three, how to conduct HR planning to ensure that the right quality of talent with the right quantities are available at the right time. We're talking about staffing, recruitment. Fourthly, the process of recruiting and selecting employees to attract and attain the right talent. Coming new into HR, you would find that lots of time people are not where they are supposed to be. I was talking to another daughter of mine the other day, and she went on an interview and they said, what's your favorite animal? And she said, a turtle. That's what, if I was to be, I would be a turtle. So she said, everybody like, turtle? She heard the mama, turtle? So someone in the interview said, explain that. A turtle, one of the slowest? She said, no. When a turtle is in its right environment, nobody can outswim a turtle. It functions perfectly in water, and it just moves, it glides, and it becomes like a champion in the water. So basically, if we get the right talent in the right places in HR, and that starts with us, we get better productivity. Then we're going to talk about the process of training and development and developing employees to ensure that they acquire the right competencies for current and future positions. And the process of performance management, those dreaded things that people don't like but are absolutely necessary and can be used positively to help people develop and to become better. We're going to look at the process of performance management to assess employees' productivity, behaviors, and to ensure continuous improvement of employees' performance. And lastly, we are going to look at how to ensure that employees are healthy and safe from an ethical obligation and perspective. From Institute has outlined that this is what is accomplished in this program. But I also have noted a few things from my practical experience. I also want us to look at what I would call succession planning. We're going to look at succession planning, and we're also going to look at compensation and benefits. Now, it's going to be a run. 4 weeks is not long because the 5th week we review and the 6th week you have your exam. Okay, so it's basically 4 weeks. So that's going to go very, very quickly. So that's what we're going to look at. And we're going to try to get an understanding of what each of those skill sets require from you as an individual. I keep forgetting it's Zoom, and so I keep moving away from the camera. We have somebody participating in the Zoom. I don't see them on here yet, but we will introduce them as soon as whenever they come on, okay? So we're going to look at those skills that are required, get an understanding of it, and what human resource management is all about. Now, one of my mentors, Agatha Marcel, she taught this course for several years here at the Institute as well. And we're utilizing, with her permission, her book as our tool. So you will be to our class, any class that we go through, and we will be doing some of the exercises in here. She is a guru in HR, and she now heads the training agency that's on Gladstone Road. That's correct. So we're going to use her book as a tool as well. We're going to use Google as a tool. We have case studies we're going to use as well as a tool. We're going to do some research. And as outlined at the bottom of the first page, it says how we're going to be measured. Measuring performance at the completion of this course requires you to requires participation, group research, oral presentation, and a final written exam. So next week, we're gonna very quickly just get 2 or 3 groups, and you're gonna have a research, probably with 3 persons, depending on how many people show up by next week, because we should have a few others. And we're gonna give you a group research, and you're gonna do an oral presentation, and then you will have a very brief exam. I don't want to burden you. I want to make this as pleasant as possible for each of you. No burden, no stress. Everyone say no stress?
No stress.
No stress. Okay. Any questions about that from our side?
What's passing mark?
Well, definitely the passing mark, my understanding is 75%,
Okay.
okay? And I'm gonna look at that very carefully with the administrator, but I'll give you all of those details next week when we break into groups, and to show how much 50% of the grade is going to go for that presentation. All right, because it's, I don't want to say forcing you, it's encouraging you to work together as a team. And you don't have to meet physically, online, Zoom, Teams, what's the other one? You can meet, online. Okay, any other expectations do you have? What do you have? What do you want out of this course? What do you want? Anything? Nothing? Get an understanding?
Get certified.
Get certified? Get a clear understanding? Clear understanding?
Certification and understanding.
Certification understanding, and you're at Atlantis, you need that. And you're new, so yeah, it's rough. But we're gonna get some, we're gonna have fun together and getting a clear understanding. So there are your expectations. And in this toolbook, there is a section where it asks, what are your expectations? In here, it asks further down, what do you want to get out of the course? So what I want to do now, before I go into any other further details, I want to share a PowerPoint with you, and I don't have my clicker, so I hope I don't get in the way. I did this presentation. I use it normally when I do a course. You're here, and I want you to decide if you want to make a strategic impact, or you want to be a strategic failure in your organization. What do I mean by that? One of the key things, is this just a job? Or career? And believe me, when you decide what HR management is to you, it's going to make a difference as to how you deal with issues, challenges, rewards, recognition, how you recruit staff and treat people when you're onboarding them in your organization, how you look at how they could develop their professionalism. It affects everything. And I went through this, I did this research, and I prepared this, and I use this quite a bit when I'm doing a training. And they were supposed to do the outline, but she said she'd find it and print it for me. So just see if you can follow this here for me. Slideshow. Okay. I'm down here, and I have something saying here, and I'll give you an outline of this in a few minutes. The clock, I say, is ticking. What will it actually be? What is it that you are wanting with your life? Have you decided to make this a career, or is it just going to be a job? And the thing about it, like I said, when we came in here, I really can't believe that it's the end of January, but the reality is there. And so I've noted here, will you make a strategic impact, or that's what I used to look like. That's just a few weeks ago, well, months ago. Or will you trot along, I have here, and or will you add value? These are things that we need to think about when we're coming into human resource management. How will you add value to the organization? Or how will you add value to your life or to the lives of others in the organization? My question to you then is, when was the last time you made an edit to your personal life plan or your long-term, short-term, or immediate goals? When was the last time you made an edit to them? Are we living on the same goals, expectations, things we'd set for 2022? You did them, or maybe you did them when you came out of high school. Are you still there? When was the last time you went back and you revisited your plan? And the same thing goes when you're working in human resource management. You have to constantly be editing the plan, because what has happened, I'm going to give you an example. What has happened to us in the last, let's say now 3 years, okay, with the pandemic, everyone's life changed. Every single business, organization, whether it's private, government, whether you're a small business, and everything changed. So you have external, what we call external factors that are pushing you to make edits and to make changes. And let's say if you go into a Commonwealth Bank, I'm just going to use that as an example, which has been around for years. But if you're still operating by some type of plan and human resource policies, which were good 10 years ago, I can guarantee you that they're not good today. This is moving quicker than I'm talking. Let me go back a minute. Okay. Give me a minute. I think I just moved a little quicker than I needed to. Okay. Okay, so my next question was, you decide when you make it, deciding to be a strategic impact or failure, you decide how you're going to set clear, precise, measurable targets, or will it be ideas which are not relevant to this season? And these are the things you have to think about when we talk about human resource management. The relevancy of what you are sharing with employees, how they tie into the mission, the vision, and the goals that the organization has set. Are they relevant to the season? And I want this to be a foundation for everything that we're moving forward with. My next question or statement says, there are 3 questions that we have here. Is it bringing what your plan, is it bringing results that were initially intended? So when you're setting HR policies, you do them 5 years, so let's say back, but is it now meeting what is required today? These are things that have to constantly be going through your mind as an HR professional. Is it relevant to the era your business is operating in? You're in investments. I am sure based on after, what you call that thing that collapsed?
FTX.
FTX collapsed. There, I mean, with all the work the Securities Commission is doing, and there's some new things that the financial service industry and securities have to now implement to ensure that we move forward, that this does not happen again. Let's go back again for 1 minute. So you have to make sure that it's relevant to the operations of the day. And are the expectations of the market you're catering to being met? Now, I always say when I use my children, okay? My daughter said, oh, the customer service in the country just stinks everywhere. It's horrible. What are you all doing? And I heard her pain and cry today because she was dealing with a matter. But we have to assess, are we meeting the demands of our present market? Because market demands have changed. People response to customer queries or resolution, whether it's internal or external, has changed. What would take in the past